Hi there. Today we are going to listen a story about Bubbles the Bubblegum Unicorn. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Sweetoria, there was a unique and enchanting creature named Bubbles. Bubbles was no ordinary unicorn, she was a bubblegum unicorn. Her mane and tail were made of soft, pink bubblegum, and she had a gleaming horn that shimmered with every color of the rainbow. Bubbles lived in the peppermint forest, a place filled with trees that grew candy canes and flowers that bloomed with sugary sweetness. Bubbles was known throughout Sweetoria for her playful and kind nature. She loved to make friends and spread joy wherever she went. Whenever she laughed, bubbles of all shapes and sizes would float into the air, bringing smiles to everyone around her. Her best friends were Gummy the bear, a lovable gummy bear, and Lolly the pop, a cheerful lollipop fairy. One bright and sunny morning, as Bubbles was playing with Gummy and Lolly near the cotton candy lake, they noticed something strange. The usually clear blue waters of the lake had turned a murky gray. The trees around the lake seemed to droop, and the flowers looked wilted and sad. "What has happened to our beautiful lake?" asked Lolly, fluttering her wings in worry. "I don't know," said Gummy, scratching his head. "But we need to find out and help." Bubbles nodded in agreement. "Let's go to the Sugar Palace and ask Queen Caramel. She will surely know what to do." The friends set off on their journey to the Sugar Palace, which was located atop the Caramel Mountains. As they made their way through the peppermint forest, they encountered other creatures of Sweetoria who were also concerned about the changes happening around them. When they finally reached the Grand Sugar Palace, they were greeted by Queen Caramel, a wise and gentle ruler who always had a solution for any problem. Queen Caramel listened carefully as Bubbles explained what they had seen at the cotton candy lake. "This is troubling news," said Queen Caramel, her eyes filled with concern. "It seems that the source of sweetness in Sweetoria is being threatened. We must find the source of this darkness and restore our land to its former glory." Queen Caramel handed Bubbles a magical map that would guide them on their quest. "Follow the map to the Licorice Caverns," she instructed. "There, you will find the sweet crystal, the heart of Sweetoria's magic. If it has been tainted, you must purify it to save our land." With the map in hand, Bubbles, Gummy, and Lolly set off on their epic adventure. The path to the Licorice Caverns was not easy. They had to cross the jellybean jungle, where the trees were made of jelly beans and the ground was sticky. They had to be careful not to get stuck, but with teamwork and determination, they made it through. Next, they entered the marshmallow meadows, where the ground was soft and bouncy. They had fun jumping and bouncing, but they didn't let it distract them from their mission. As they neared the Licorice Caverns, they encountered the Saw Patch Swamp, a place filled with tangy and tricky creatures. The swamp was guarded by the Saw Patch King, a saw yet sly candy creature who didn't want anyone to enter the Licorice Caverns. "You cannot pass," he declared, blocking their way. Bubbles stepped forward, her horn glowing with determination. "We must pass, for the sake of Sweetoria. Please, let us through." The Saw Patch King sneered. "If you can solve my riddle, I will let you pass. Fail, and you will be stuck in this swamp forever." Bubbles, Gummy, and Lolly huddled together as the Saw Patch King presented his riddle. "I am sweet and round, and in many colors, I can be found. What am I?" The friends thought hard. Gummy scratched his head, and Lolly fluttered her wings in deep thought. Suddenly, Bubbles' eyes lit up. "I know the answer," she exclaimed. "You are a jelly bean." The Saw Patch King grumbled, but he had to honor his word. "Very well, you may pass," he said, stepping aside. The friends continued on their journey, finally reaching the entrance to the Licorice Caverns. Inside, the air was cool, and the walls glistened with black licorice. They followed the map deeper into the caverns until they reached a grand chamber where the sweet crystal stood. To their horror, the sweet crystal was surrounded by dark, swirling shadows. The crystal's once brilliant light was dim and flickering. Bubbles knew they had to act quickly. She approached the crystal, her horn glowing brightly, and began to sing a sweet, melodic tune. Her voice echoed through the chamber, and the shadows began to retreat. Gummy and Loli joined in, their voices blending harmoniously with Bubbles. The combined power of their friendship and love for Sweetoria worked magic on the sweet crystal. The shadows dissolved, and the crystal's light grew stronger and brighter until it shone with a radiant glow. With the sweet crystal purified, the friends knew their mission was complete. They made their way back to Sweetoria, where they were greeted with cheers and celebrations. The cotton candy lake was once again clear and sparkling, the trees stood tall and proud, and the flowers bloomed with vibrant colors. Queen Caramel welcomed them back to the Sugar Palace and thanked them for their bravery and determination. "You have saved Sweetoria and restored its sweetness," she said, smiling warmly. "Bubbles, Gummy, and Loli, you are true heroes." From that day on, Bubbles the bubblegum unicorn, Gummy the bear, and Loli the pop were celebrated throughout Sweetoria. Their epic adventure became a beloved story, reminding everyone that with courage, friendship, and a little bit of sweetness, anything is possible. And so, the magical land of Sweetoria flourished, filled with laughter, joy, and of course, the delightful presence of Bubbles the bubblegum unicorn.